This is Paige.
I'm Persis.
And you're watching ECSports.
You know who you're messing with? Do you know who you're messing with?
Go ahead and put the topic up on there. All right, Danny's requesting all the way from Turlock, California, that we make sure we have this conversation. So we'll make sure the Mitchie T combo comes up.
Are we ready? ECSports.
We're here.
I'm not sure what episode we're on.
I don't know. It's been a lot, and yet it. Oh, you're saying the episode? I thought he was giving us a
27.
countdown.
17.
17. Well, you know you can just say it out loud, right?
He doesn't like to
He
speak.
doesn't like to speak.
What's on this?
So ECSports episode 17.
Look who we found.
We brought the West Coast correspondent,
Yeah.
Danny, is in the building.
Slander him enough, he
2
will
months prior to
arrive.
getting chained up.
Yeah.
Danny, how you
doing?
feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Love to be on another episode of ECSports as always, man.
Live.
Wish we could do this weekly. You know.
Yeah.
Wish I could. Wish I had the
You
access.
left us.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
no.
So what do we have today?
What we have today, we'll just jump right into Danny's requested topic at hand. The Chicago Bears are a 500 football team right now, coming off of a Thanksgiving win against the Detroit Lions and their, 19th string quarterback. But they did get the win. He kind of reminds me of you, Danny. You usually keep your eyebrows nice and lined up.
I really don't even touch
So
them.
does he. So we can tell you're on your vacay look right now. You don't touch them. Just
I don't
naturally
even touch 'em,
beautiful.
man. I don't
But
even touch 'em.
you know, Mitch Trubisky actually put together
Mitch
a
Trubisky.
solid performance last night. On Thursday
Thursday against who?
against
Detroit
the
football
the
Lions.
starters of the Detroit Lions,
Starters?
the
Yeah.
defense starters. So Bears pull out a win. They move to 500. There's a lot that comes with that. One, you like you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Mitch looks like he found some success. That was a good game from a quarterback. On the other end of that, are the Bears just going right back into purgatory by being just good enough where you're not going to move on from Mitch, and he will be the starting quarterback next year. Danny, you're up first, so why don't you tell us what you think?
It's just a bunch of mediocrity at the quarterback position. Like how you were alluding to, it's just good enough. He's not. I haven't seen another step from Mitch Trubisky. Clearly, everyone's like, oh,
Trubisky.
they could have had Watson, they could have had Mahomes. You got to get over that. This is who you got. This is who you got to work with right now until next season, obviously, the off season. But what was he doing on 3rd and short, running away from the first
Scared.
down?
He hooked the
It's
left.
it's little things like that. Where are you throwing to in some instances?
Gotta hurt
Why
shoulder,
aren't you
man.
just turning around, handing off the ball to Montgomery? Why isn't he audibling at the line? Why isn't he doing things to change up the
Because
play?
he's not good.
Kill.
I don't get what he's doing.
Kill,
That's
kill,
the thing with
kill.
Trubisky.
He's got 2 plays. He's got 2 plays in his head.
And I mean, he has a decent rapport with Allen Robinson. I'll give you that. Anthony Miller had a pretty decent game as well. But I'm
Yeah.
sick of decent. And when you look at the Chicago Bears, everything is decent on the offensive side of the ball. And on defensive side of the ball, what do you think, Dion?
I mean, defense is defense. They've been mediocre in the
Right.
last couple of games. Actually, 2 tree games. I don't know if it's just people are getting used to Mr. Khalil Mack. But when you don't have Hakeem Hicks
They
or
miss him.
the other players that are injured, Trevathan is huge, and Smith just doesn't seem himself this year. It affects the defensive structure, and then when the offense keeps them on the field most of the time, it's hard for them to get a flow, so to speak.
Or
And
breather.
These
On the sidelines.
terrible teams are staying in the game and or winning. So, again, until Mitch Trubisky is not the quarterback, we're going to be mediocre.
Here's another thing. Do you think Trubisky's play is rubbing off on the defense? You got David Blau out there, 3rd string quarterback, on one of the first plays, bomb to
Right.
Kenny Galladay for 75 yards. Throws 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
How worried are you guys looking at a defense like that when Mitch Trubisky isn't playing well? Is that rubbing off? And then you see what the impact of the game is going from there?
I mean, I think Dion hit the nail on the head with if they're on the court. I mean, if they're on the field, the defense is on the field for 3/4 of the game. There's just some fatigue that is naturally going to set in. These human beings running into each other for an entire football game. You also have to look at just the entirety of the season, injuries, watching your quarterback go out there and give you absolutely nothing. There's a little emotional deflation that comes around with what's going on with the Bears defense. But that you see, they're still a good team. You see that they still have the makeup of doing some of the same things that they did last year. I just am struggling to find a reason why, Mitch Trubisky should still be the starting quarterback of a professional football team in 2020.
So with that, 2020 offseason's going around, starting the rumors are swirling. Are you going Cam Newton? Are you sticking with Trubisky? Are you shopping in the draft or in a third-round pick situation? Because they don't have the first, or they have the first, or they don't have the first. They have the second. Are they going to put a second-round pick to a quarterback, and not too deep of a quarterback draft class? What are you going to be looking at?
I mean, just watching the game yesterday, last night. Just knowing what they passed up, I just don't think they're smart enough to do that. Deshaun Watson was right there. And you can't sit here and say, oh, well, who would have known? A lot of people. He was in the championship for 2 years. It was an easy pick.
He's a big-time performer, too.
It was
Michael
an easy
Jordan,
pick.
According to Dabo.
Dabo Sweeney called him Jordan at quarterback.
I mean, this is a coach that went to the championship against Alabama and beat him once as well. I just think you just go with someone that has that competition, and they didn't do it. So this year, I don't know if you go for a free agent because you have a very veteran defense, but I just think you have to start moving away from this gentleman. But
let's talk about the options. Let's talk about what the options are on the table. Chicago has the opportunity to have their first starting black quarterback in a bazillion years.
They've been losing a lot lately.
You have Teddy Bridgewater that's going to be a free agent. Cam Newton, who's going to have the opportunity via trade. Thank you. His team is struggling right now, so is Carolina so eager to say, we're going to hitch our tent up to
David Allen.
Kyle, you're not as tall. You're not as strong.
We've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, and we lost 5 in a row. And,
But the thing is, do they have the money now to pay Teddy Bridgewater? Because the quarterback market now, you're going for at least $20 million for a guy like that.
Who besides the Bears you have to look at is looking for a win-now quarterback? A lot of these bad teams, they want that longevity in the draft, right?
Yeah.
So,
because if you look at it, the Bears will do something and go for Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Or what about a guy
who
like Gardner?
just
Would
was
you go
benched?
for Gardner Minshew?
He
just got benched for Gardner.
Foles.
Minshew Mania's back in session, baby.
But even Minshew, I don't think he's on a second year contract. Would you go for a guy like Minshew?
I don't think Carolina. I mean, I don't think Jacksonville is too eager to give him up for that same reason. He's cheap. You either want cheap talent in the NFL, or you want, a championship winning quarterback, and you're in that time. So,
I can't see.
I don't know, man. You also got to look at, I'm sure, would you kick the tire on Phillip Rivers?
I wouldn't go for Phillip Rivers. That arm is declining. He's had multiple 3 interception plus games.
Anybody's better than Trubisky.
I wouldn't go for Phillip Rivers either.
Wouldn't go for Phillip Rivers.
Maybe Tannehill.
With Ryan Tannehill's putting together a nice little resume down there in Tennessee.
Mariota and Winston
he was benched for Tannehill down in Tennessee. So you can miss me on Mariota. You can miss me on that entire draft class. I don't know if Jameis is going to be available. Would you take Jameis?
Yes.
I would not.
Because
he's gonna want a lot of money.
Okay.
He's gonna want at least $25
Jameis
million.
can want everything he wants, but if he steals more crab legs, he's going to get arrested again. Like, there's a thing about what you want and what you can have in this world.
I just think that we have a better opportunity with him, but everybody's so focused that we have the tools. We don't.
Go deeper into that.
Allen Robinson, but Taylor Gabriel's like
Your
Danny's height. No.
Taylor Gabriel's future is now in question with his second concussion out of the season. So,
there's going to be a lot of receivers available.
The only thing I'm going to say is going to be tough when you
could business be booming?
Don't start.
Would business be booming in Chicago?
You don't want that.
He never let him go. in fantasy.
I kept him.
You still have it?
Kept
Yeah.
him. He kept
I want to
the
win
spot.
with him.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be the only team who could win with AB.
Danny, as you were saying, though, it sounds like you were diving into a little bit of fantasy.
Yeah.
What would you?
don't even
What
know.
would we like to talk about with fantasy football? How I've now secured a playoff spot.
Yeah, but how we're like battling for like,
Oh.
the last seed.
Okay, yeah. So why don't you guys tell me how it feels to be battling for a playoff spot?
I don't know, Ricky. Just know if I get in, I've already beat you twice. I'm trying to go for the 3 I
Danny,
faced you.
that's fine. If you beat me during the regular season, if I don't see you in the playoffs, my brother, I'm gonna be waving bon voyage while the ship takes off.
We'll see. We'll see on that.
Interesting.
Dion, how do you feel about
Mr.
your
Williams, you look quiet over there.
It's tough.
Why don't you
right
tell
now.
the folks what you're looking at for your situation?
Tonight, I
Mhm.
have Stephon Diggs going. I really need him to do well. Let's just say that.
Okay.
My son is playing a guy that I lost to twice, who has the same record. But if my son wins, he goes.
And you're out.
Yeah, because we won't have
It's a
the same
sacrificial
record.
thing, man.
Yeah,
So
right.
basically, I have to win tonight with 32 to 33 points with Stephon Diggs, who has had 50-point games, 27, 28. He got 27 last week.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
they
never
are
know.
playing Seattle. We don't know. We'll
Yep.
see. Because when Kirk Cousins throws to him, he tends to only look at him.
That's why he was
And Adam
so
Thielen
upset
is
earlier
still
in the
out,
year.
right?
He's
He's
like,
like, give me the ball.
how you not throw it to me, man?
And yeah, so we'll see. It's a rough year. Danny wants me to change it up. No, I like the scoring. I am
just don't
considering.
understand.
All right, my scoring is simple.
Yeah. Let him
Here we
know.
go. Okay, here
Yeah.
we go.
You get a point, one simple point for every completion.
Yeah.
Pass completion.
PPC.
Now, every time they hit a threshold, they get a bonus. Which
I love that.
Yeah. So he's talking about every 10 get 1 point.
Every 10
No.
complete, that makes
No.
more sense.
It's just fun. Are you
I
having
am
fun?
Oh, I have
A-okay.
fun.
I'm
Yeah,
having
it's
just
fun.
fun.
It's
Now-
different. It's a different setup
It's a
on the
different-
league.
I
There's
hate
some
to-
leagues that have 2 quarterbacks.
Yes.
I think that's a little
Really?
weird. Yeah.
That
Two
is super
quarterbacks?
weird.
It's just your flex can be anyone else.
That's so weird.
Wow.
It's like, okay, so I will do
So,
a
I mean, with
Yeah.
eight, every team is stacked, but it's how you stack them.
right,
Yeah, that's
18
true.
league.
You know what I mean? I've made 20 plus transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not who you draft, it's who you end up with.
Yeah, that's true.
I got hurt on some earlier season losses.
Your
Um,
biggest regret this year as far as
losing to the
players?
players. Le'Veon Bell, I would never touch him again.
I'm never gonna even sniff
I would
around
never-
David Johnson.
I would
picking him
never
again.
look at Le'Veon Bell.
Okay, Le'Veon, Danny.
David Johnson. I'd rather draft AB not playing for a whole season.
Oh,
than
not
go-
drafting
go,
Lamar
go
Jackson.
With, and go with what's his
No
face,
one
David
drafted
Johnson.
Lamar Jackson the first day.
Oh, we will pull up the clip, baby.
Lamar Jackson had an obnoxious amount of fantasy points with his 5 touchdowns.
Oh,
Do you want to guess who had him on their team?
and didn't use him. Danny.
It's a trick question. Nobody drafted Lamar Jackson in our league. That boy sat there and had QB1
Oh shit.
for week
Yeah,
1.
Let me go in here and
Now, here's the next question.
I gotta get rid of Ben. Sorry, Ben. Not that you're watching.
Guess who picked up Lamar Jackson today when waivers finally opened up? Your boy Ricky Lake. Can I get a hallelujah?
Fuck that clip.
So obviously Lamar Jackson will no longer not be taken in any
Did you
league
notice
in the
my
history
face
of
in
the
it?
planet.
Because I was seriously lost at how that possible.
Yeah, you were the most
Yeah.
confused. I think mine, it probably just thinking about the league that we had this year. Oh, Baker Mayfield, my man.
You roll.
Let me holler at you real quick. I was beyond excited to pick you up in 2 or 3 fantasy leagues as my starting quarterback. You have done
Baker
less
Mayfield.
than anything, my brother. You have gone through more beard changes during a game than actual touchdown passes in the same game.
Don't forget the mustache.
Don't forget the commercial.
Yeah, the commercials. I mean, I really enjoy you sweeping up from the party at whatever the hell the field's name is in Cleveland. That was cool. That was a cute commercial. You doing the circuit breaker and the outlet. Does this
Yeah.
one work? Does this
So,
one work?
to-
You're a better
to-
actor than
to
fantasy
end
player.
The conversation. as of right now, my son and myself are out. The Williams guys are out, which is frustrating.
I'm in as of
So,
right now.
As of right now, you're in.
'Cause I did win.
did beat you in our only game played, so I don't know how that affects. If I win, I think you're out because I beat you.
Well,
I think, but
Well,
I have a long.
we'll see
It's
how
tough.
it plays out.
To
It's
wait.
kind of interesting with these scenarios.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to throw up.
Games start on Thursday. Bears play on Thursday. We got a
Good
quick game coming around. Yep. They got They got
Dallas.
your boy. They got the Dallas. They got, wow. Can we just give some type of love to Dak Prescott? Not necessarily how the Cowboys are doing, but Dak, from a fantasy football perspective, has resurrected his career. Because before, he was the most pissed off quarterback that anybody would draft at the time or pick up. But Dak, I appreciate you. You're going to take me to the playoffs in one of my leagues, so got you for that. Dion,
So you guys think? I just want to get this on camera.
Mm-hmm.
You think we should go to $100 and 10 teams next year?
110 teams.
Why don't we just stick with 8 and do 100?
Yeah, why don't we stick it
All right.
and do 100? I like
And
that.
Get a belt or something.
I want a belt. I've been trying to put it
You have
in
to
any
win,
fantasy league.
motherfucker.
Well, currently I'm the only one set up to win in this league right now. Everybody else seems like, yo,
I'm
fighting
the
and
reigning
scratching.
champ, and I'm still
Yeah,
fighting this
Danny.
guy.
This dude's the reigning champ.
Although
That's a
we
lot.
Saquon had a bad year this year, that's why.
So what's that? $750? No, $700.
700 bones.
Do you think the Bears should trade Khalil Mack for multiple first-round pickups?
Who's the question?
Huh?
Who asked? I just want to acknowledge.
Let's give him a shout out.
Catherine Christian, 72.
Oh, hey, Auntie. Appreciate you. No, we don't trade Khalil Mack. No, we can.
That's what we did.
That's
Is
what
that a
that's
question?
what his favorite team did. No, he has to stay because that's the defense. You take him out, and now the defense is no longer that great. So
Yeah.
no, let's keep Khalil Mack. Let's just figure it out.
Yeah, let's do that.
But is that the thing, though? Like, you keep Khalil Mack, the defense side of the ball is going to be great, but defense doesn't score the points. You still going to ride with Mitch at that point, then, if they don't?
Oh no,
Fuck
Mitch is
him.
gone
Mitch
in
is
my
out
life.
of here.
He's out. He's gone.
Danny,
But then
if we
they- but they
keep
don't
him,
have
we have
the-
to pay him.
Yeah, but you don't have the draft capital right now in the first round.
It's
or
the
one of
second
those.
last year. This is the second. Like
How many
you have a second
first-round
round pick,
quarterbacks
and this is the
is
I'm
second
just
year the
saying,
Bears
I'm
are
just
giving
throwing
up
out
No.
Khalil.
possibilities because look,
Fucking LA guys.
look at this.
Turlock, California.
Look
man.
He's
at
got all
this.
our
I'm
past
telling you.
draft picks. He's like, hey, yeah, you guys don't.
Actually, keep Khalil Mack. Keep Khalil Mack because we'll see how many points offense puts up.
Whoa.
That's all I gotta say.
Hey, Ray, do we have another question down there? Or was that just
No, that was a comment.
that was our only
So
one?
yeah, so back just to finish up with fantasy, I think that's a good idea because I don't know. We'll see what Stephon Diggs does. Otherwise, I'll cheer you guys on. At least I want my
appreciate
son
that,
to get
man.
in, so I can have something to cheer for. I don't care if Ricky wins.
When
I want him to win.
when Ricky wins, I will make sure to take everybody out for ice cream.
Fuck
We'll
you.
get
How about
some
some
snow
wings?
cones. No, we got to get ice cream because I need it to be symbolic. I have you guys sitting under an ice cream sign that says "ice cream" or "ice cream," and then under it, I'm gonna put
What's your record?
loses. I'm gonna be 6-6.
No,
Wait, are you
that's
winning this week?
impossible.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 7-6.
7-6.
Yep.
That's why.
I'm gonna be 6 and 7.
This win, you clinched it. Now
I
I
gotta
could,
win.
and you gotta
I
win
could
to
be
get in.
down there
I
with them,
gotta beat him.
fighting and scrapping for a spot. But that's what happens when you take care of business. And as the strongest team in the league,
What?
You're out of pocket right now, man.
as the strongest team and as the strongest roster in the league, when you have Devontae Adams, and then you go down, and you got that murderer down in Houston. Go ahead, say his name.
You got
I
Hopkins?
don't know what you're talking
And
about.
you got DeAndre Hopkins.
You got Hopkins.
And then you turn around and you have Lamar Jackson. And then Ricky, you couldn't possibly have any running backs with that great of a wide receiving core in Lamar Jackson. Well, then you look at my oh, Lord, I'm getting dizzy. My running back group is Leonard Fournette,
You welcome.
right? Nick Chubb, right? And, I'm sorry. Who could possibly be my last one? Actually, I forget. That's just how deep we are. I don't even have my phone. Who's
Good.
my other running back?
Doesn't matter.
It's
Is it
not.
the guy from
It's not Zeke.
motherfucker. You have Kittle.
It's and I have Kittle. I have Kittle.
How are you
And
7 and 6 though?
oh,
Exactly. I
Whoa.
beat him
That's what I'm saying.
twice.
I beat you twice.
this was an accumulation of wealth and talent. These were through trades, fair trades.
I gave him one
Fair
for,
straight.
for
Word.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, yeah.
I just saw him at the game. He was at the game last night.
Westbrook.
Westbrook and PJ.
Bulls Rockets? No,
Houston.
What?
The Houston game. They were at the Houston game.
Oh, I
Football
thought.
I was about to
I
say
like,
Russell
yeah, I was
Westbrook
like,
was at the Houston game.
Texans game.
Huh.
Texans.
Oh yes, the big Texans.
The football team. Yes.
Yes.
Then that's a little bit of a preview of what we're going to move into our third segment. But obviously Russ is doing some interesting stuff down in Houston. So we'll talk NBA basketball next. Real quick before we hop into basketball talk, what has been your most memorable social media video
There you go.
that you watch?
You
What's your
tell
favorite?
Me, oh no, we're trying to stick to sports.
No, what is
No,
your
there's
favorite?
so many.
There it
No, I
is.
got you. Hold on. I don't
The Yeet video.
The Yeet, that's
That was
classics,
great.
know. Which one
right?
is that?
The little
Yeah.
kid, and he's like, it's like they made like into like a GIF
I
and
gotta
everything.
say that ugly motherfucker said, got him.
Oh, you talking
Oh
about?
my God, dude! That he made at least $40,000
Yeah.
from that.
He made a year's worth.
He
salary.
made a year's worth
Yes.
salary.
I used to
going
watch
viral.
that ad nauseum.
Really, just playing it back, and it's the perfect meme thing to send to anybody. I would say for me, it just popped back up. But there's the video of somebody interviewing these two women on the street, and he asked how many stars are on the U.S. flag, and this woman proceeds to say, okay, so there's 50 states, but there's 13 colonies. 13 minus 50, that's motherfucking 47. And it kills me every time she says that
That's
answer.
what the black dude was, when it was outside.
Yeah.
That's
What
the
about-
one they were asking people how you spell if EYES
Yep.
spell. No,
If YES is
spells
yes,
yes,
what is EYES
spell?
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about?
Yes.
What about I'm legally blind?
Oh my God, POP, hold it down. All right, we could do a
Yeah,
whole
that was good.
episode on
We
favorite videos. But
And
moving into our
movies.
last segment, NBA season is a
Hey,
fourth of
Danny,
the way
before
through.
we get there,
What's up?
I just want to ask Danny.
What's up?
Did you see New Jack City?
Have I seen New Jack City? With what? That's with what's his name, right?
Yeah.
With Nino Brown?
Mhm.
Oh, clips. I don't really
Okay.
seen it, but
Clips. Just wondering.
All right.
You saw it. You heard it here first. Danny too.
Moving forward, we are on to NBA basketball, quarter way through the season. The Bulls, I don't
Coming
know.
soon.
I don't know how much we're going to talk about the Bulls. They are, Jim Boylan might not have a job much longer. Laurie is having his issues shooting. He has forgotten to shoot. As a career 6% 3-point
36.
shooter, he is now shooting 28% on the floor. Laurie Markkinen. I asked him just as such what's been going on with his shooting performance. We'll play that real
Here
quick.
I come, Lakeshore.
Laurie, you seen anything on tape that you want to change differently, or when you look back at the film, what are you seeing out of your play that you think you want to improve on outside the obvious?
Just first of all, I gotta stay aggressive and just creating contact, and then just like finishing up every shot. You know, not getting out of it too early or anything like that. But I've done my film study and it's just put in the work in, and I know it's gonna serve us.
Dion, we'll start with you when talking about our Chicago Bulls that we cover oh so closely.
Friends of the show.
Is it more likely that Jim Boylan is fired before the end of the year, or
Jim Boylan
Zach
is
Lavine
secured.
is on another
I
team?
don't know why you guys don't understand this. Jim Boylan and John Paxson aren't going anywhere.
Mm.
Love it, hate it, whatever you want. At least this year, only person on the hot seat right now is Gar, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Jim Boylan, they love what he's doing, even though he's the 8th coach.
He called out the best player.
Yeah. For
Benched him.
I wish I was there for that night. What the secret is reporting is to throw the coach under the bus after we do his interview prior to going into the locker room, because you get so much heat from the coach after either a win or a loss. It's good questions. I got a good question to Derek from the coach, and then obviously I believe it was Casey Johnson got a good answer from Zach Lavine when he said, "Hey, Jim said he took you out because of this, that." Oh, he did? Really? Oh, what do you say?
Right.
That's when it's over. And that's where the cream happens. So I don't think Jim Boylan gets fired. I do believe they're going to have to make some changes because it seems like the upper echelon of the offices are getting a little pissed at what we're doing.
Imagine that.
It's crazy.
Imagine
It's
that.
crazy. They're 6-14, only 2 games out of the 8th seed.
That is disgusting.
You would think like
Look at the Eastern Conference
now
showing out.
what we were just saying is like, okay, do we trade Zach Lavine?
I
But
don't know
are
what
you
his weakness
battling
is.
for an 8 seed or are you trying to tank? Like, what's the Bulls' motive in this situation?
But honestly, when you're battling for 8th, you're playing Milwaukee or
Well,
Sure,
or
that's.
like Philly or Boston.
But you're
or something.
playing for.
it's so
Or
wide
Toronto.
open.
You're playing for
bro.
$5 million more in concession
But it's
stands.
wide open. Like before, it used to be, oh fuck, we got LeBron. Oh fuck, we got Miami. Now it's like, oh, we got Giannis.
Well, they better be saying fuck. Dion, we saw Giannis up close and personal.
but he's one guy.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
the Bucks
But
have a squad, though.
Bucks got a team that's
Bucks do have a
supporting.
team.
They,
I wouldn't want 8th seed, but after that, bro.
You got the Sixers. You're looking at
Toronto's
teams like Boston, Toronto. Look, man, just some.
Philly.
I don't know what's going on with Philly this
Yeah.
year. Joel went scoreless in a recent game. How you that big and go scoreless in a basketball
He
game?
was raised by Lions, dude.
I don't know.
He was
So,
raised by Lions, man.
it's
Did you hear
it's going to be
Oh, I heard
interesting.
him. I don't know what that means for a basketball court though.
Hey, man, he was raised by Lions.
It's interesting to see like what's
Little
going
putty
to
tat,
happen
yeah.
with the playoffs because right now it's just everywhere. But we haven't even reached the All-Star break in Chicago, by the way.
Yep.
So
No, yeah, quarter away through the season. Wrap up the Bulls. The Athletic just came out with an article assessing that the Bulls are in a 5-team mix for the 8th seed. I think if you're in the 5-team mix for the 8th seed, you're also in the mix for the number 3 overall pick. So not too sure how
because the
excited.
draft right now is looking good.
A spark plug to the Chicago Bulls franchise would be a ball boy.
LaMelo
Do you
Ball.
put him in
How about that?
or do you put him at the 2?
I would have LaMelo. It's positionless basketball nowadays, man.
Yeah.
If you can handle the
Yeah,
rock and move
sure.
it, you put LaMelo Ball
But you
at
got
the 1 or
Kobe
2.
killing.
You can have that nice
I
backcourt.
should say
I
get
like-
rid of like trade Laurie away for some picks.
Yeah, right? Bottom out.
Zach and Jim don't get along. Just start really over. You're not really starting over with what we got.
But you're keeping
Chris
Wendell
Dunn
Carter
is your
Jr.,
guy.
right? That's your guy? Wendell? So, no, that
So-
As I was saying.
So Kobe White and LaMelo Ball. come
Kobe
back.
White, LaMelo.
I like LaMelo.
Did you say that's
LaMelo.
Kobe and Melo now that you got for your
Yeah,
future?
and then
That
you
sounds like
have-
something that can.
I don't see them trading Laurie because they're so enamored with him.
Sure.
They put so much work in his 3-point shooting
Of course
prior to
they
every
did.
game.
28%,
I
quarter
don't
way through the
think.
year.
I don't think they're so. I mean, they were gonna. It's weird because Zach was gonna leave to Sacramento,
Mm-hmm.
and they matched.
Yeah.
For 80 mil.
That shows you the
So,
state of the team when
yeah.
someone takes the first flight out to Sacktown to go live with Danny.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering what's gonna happen, but right now I don't think they're happy with their team. I know they like Kobe and what he's doing. I just think they need to start fresh, go with real picks, try to not get the 7th pick.
For the third time.
For the third
Yeah.
time in a row.
Well, but doesn't it sound like that's what it's setting up
Yeah.
for?
It's
Another
a setup. There's some pretty decent players. The kid that got suspended from Memphis.
Wiseman's nice. Anthony
I
Edwards
say
is
you
nice.
bring in Penny Hardaway and start over.
No, I like it. You know what? That's not a horrible idea. Dion coming with the hot takes
The
on
only thing is he
ECSports.
just signed that contract with Memphis.
Okay, what that mean for an NBA job?
I'm just saying.
Shit.
How much is your buyout?
Okay.
That was hot dogs
Yeah,
for
we
a
want
week and a
you to
half
get
at the
there.
United Center.
Exactly.
You know what
they
I'm
have
saying?
honey
I don't know,
butter
man.
fried chicken at the UC.
I need to
They're
squeeze
good.
this in before we wrap up the last few minutes of the show. Fellas, there's been a lot of debate going on about who currently is the best player in the NBA. A lot of names being floated around, a lot of new names now starting to enter into the fray. So I'm wondering, as of today, as of the 2nd of December, the best basketball player in the NBA is
Who you asking first?
Joe Freshgoods?
You don't see the shoes?
It's Joe. Shout out Joe Freshgoods, by the way. Dion, why don't you get the sock showing so we can feel like the man.
I think what Dion's alluding
When
to.
he
Oh,
answers
the
Yeah,
shoe
when-
shoe.
When
I
that dude
see.
answers my calls, I'll promote him.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the shoes. Yeah, shade throw.
And this is the LeBron 16s.
Hollywood. Yeah, the Hollywoods.
The Hollywoods.
Pretty, still in good
So
condition.
you're
You heard me.
saying, so you're saying LeBron James?
Still.
Danny?
I would probably have to agree, as of right now. But there are a few close seconds.
Who?
I would say a youngin by the name of Luka Doncic,
Wow.
and I would probably say Giannis.
Giannis has to not shoot free throws that don't touch
KD is
the
not
rim.
playing. Steph Curry's out. So yeah, I mean Harden's doing his thing down in Houston, but
Back
I've
to your
seen
memes. LeBron James.
But I've
LeBron
seen too
James.
much of Harden regular season, puts up crazy numbers, and just goes flatlining in the playoffs. So that's why.
Oh,
it's
James
tough.
Harden's not in the consideration for best player in the NBA. No one here on the ECSports show is endorsing that brand of basketball forward.
Where would you rank AD?
Top five, no particular order. You got LeBron, you got Kawhi, you got Giannis in there.
I like Doncic.
You like Doncic
He's
in
in
there.
love with him.
I'd see.
I like him, man. I think he's
mean,
honestly in the top
before we
3 to
leave,
4.
You got Giannis and AD. You know.
We have to make sure that everybody knows we're going to add the Danny 2-minute
Yep.
drill
Yeah.
to every show moving forward. So
We'll be doing that. Covering some of
once
the
we
West Coast stuff.
once we get Comcast to answer our emails,
Yeah. To tighten up a bit,
we'll see,
guys.
to try
Holla
to get
at
our
us.
shows out every week. I mean, we just have to block that in so we're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, guys?
No. Besides that, the Los Angeles Lakers are the best team in the NBA, and that they are first in the Western Conference and currently are tied for the best record in the NBA. LeBron James is playing like an MVP, and Anthony Davis is Defensive Player of the Year. Other than that, I'm good.
For Rick, Danny joining us from Cali.
Always been a pleasure, man. Always been a pleasure being here.
Go Bloomingdale Ballheads. EC Sports.
Well, prayers up.